This is GMT from BBC World News. I'm Stephen Sacker. Our top story. As President Obama prepares to visit the country, ethnic conflict continues in Burma's Rakhine state, with reports that the security forces could be complicit in the violence. Now, Robbie Shone has dedicated the past 10 years of his life to exploring and photographing some of the world's deepest, largest and longest cave systems. His work has taken him to the remotest corners of the world. Amongst his collection, this from his expedition to China in 2007. These images of the Sarawak chamber in Borneo, which is the largest cave chamber actually in the world. The entrance of one of Portugal's largest caves. And this one of Gaping Gill in the Yorkshire Dales in England. Minutes later, this chamber was covered with water. Well, Robbie Shone joins me now. Robbie, just seeing those images, it's absolutely fantastic. Begin by telling me what drove you underground. Why did caves do it for you?
Well, originally I went to Sheffield University to study an art course. And I wanted to go to Sheffield for climbing. That was my main interest at the time. But a friend on the course, he persuaded me to go underground and try and explore some of the caves around the Peak District. And I was a little bit reluctant at first, but once I got on the ground, I absolutely loved it. And basically, the bug has stuck ever since. So,
and we saw images there, Papua New Guinea, Borneo, phenomenally remote and difficult and inaccessible. Were some of these places that actually had never been illuminated and photographed ever before?
Some of them, I would say 50% of what you've seen so far has. I was part of a pioneering team of cavers, so they would explore the cave weeks before, and then I would go in following and take the photographs. But also some of them have been photographed before. How
difficult, how dangerous are some of these caves?
It depends, really. I mean, you assess the risks, and from there you make them as dangerous as possible. I generally only go underground with calculated people, a group of friends who I trust completely. So. But
you're using, well, look at that image there that sees you sort of rappelling down. You're using what, zip wires, and how actually do you not only get yourself but your equipment? Because don't forget, you've got to light these things to make them look fantastic. How do you do that?
We use ropes to access the vertical sections of the cave, so we would abseil into them and carry all the equipment that we need to photograph the caves. And yeah, some of them are quite big like that, and some of the areas that we have to go through are quite small and narrow. So passing all this equipment through can take a long time to get to the location where you want to take the photograph.
I just wonder, you know, there are so many parts of the remote world which are now threatened with human contact and environmental pollution of one sort or another. Are the caves safe because they are so remote and, of course, underground?
Yeah, no, they are so remote, so far underground. They are very safe. Sometimes they get attacked by water, obviously in heavy rain periods. But no,
but there's no sign whatsoever, and indeed your own expeditions weren't in any way threatening the sort of virgin nature of these caves.
No, I mean that's a good point actually. We do obviously leave footprints when we go through these caves, so we try and protect that by minimising the impact we have as explorers going through the caves. So we'd only stick to like one little area of the trail.
I'm very struck, you know, in the midst of all of the exotic locations that we talked about, there were images from Yorkshire, from the cave system, very close actually to Sheffield, where you were at university. Should people actually think about whether they can get access to, if they live in a big city, maybe caves aren't that far removed from where they live?
Well, absolutely. It's a great sport to get into, and like Gaping Gill in the Yorkshire Dales, you haven't got to travel to the far ends of the world to visit these caves.
Great. Robbie Shone, the images are fantastic. Thanks very much for coming into GMT.